Okay, today I just want to take a minute to recap all the factoring types so that you have to know all these to complete some of the lessons in this unit. So factoring. So we have our simple trinomial. So an example, x squared plus 2x minus 24. So a simple trinomial always leads with a 1x squared. So in that type, you know that you can put a 1x and a 1x, and your last spots need to multiply to this. So I'm going to use a 6 and a 4, a 2 and a 12, a 1 and 24, but the combination has to combine to get you the middle number. So I'm going to pick a 6 and a 4. 1 has to be a negative, so I'm going to go with a positive 6 and a negative 4 to combine for a positive 2. Okay, I'm going to do some hard trinomials. I'm not going to do significantly hard ones, so I'm going to give you some that can possibly be done with a little bit of guessing and checking. In other words, not too many combinations. So for instance, this 3x squared, there's only one factor set that will get you 3, right? 1 times 3. So I'm going to go with a 1x and a 3x. Now in this last spot, you need a 4, so there's only 2 combinations. Okay? I need a combination to get me 13. So I already know I'm picking this combination, right? There's only one choice there. What combination can you see over there that's going to get you a combination of 13? Do you see it? I'm going to put the 1 with the 1 and the 3 with the 4 because I'm going to see a 1 and a 12 to make 13. So I'm going to put the 1 with the 1, and I'm going to put the 3x with the 4. Do you see my outsides and insides? Outsides 1, insides 12. Okay, so those are the style you'll see with hard trinomials. You're going to see difference of squares. So an example, x squared minus 64. This has no middle term. So when you do that, you can go x to make x squared. Your last needs to make this, and they need to combine to give you 0. So I'm going to use a negative 8 and a positive 8 in order to get me that negative 64. But can you see my combination of outside insides will always make 0. You're going to see GCFs. So here's an example. 2m squared plus 8m. You ask yourself, what can I pull out of that from everything? So each of these can be divided by a 2 and an m. Then, if I divide by 2m, I have an m remaining. If I divide that by 2m, I have a 4. So that's how you factor that. And here is the last style you're going to see. This is new, negative out. Okay, so in this, you can see that when I'm dealing with my x, it's a negative. And you can see if all these other factors, all these other factors start with an x, not a negative x. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull out a negative 1. When I divide by negative 1, I'm going to write my x term first. So if I divide that by negative 1, it becomes an x. And if I divide that by negative 1, it becomes 6. Okay? And I just flip the order just because that's consistent with what we're seeing, so it just looks nicer and easier to work with. Okay, obviously it would be the same as that. Okay, those are your 5 factoring types you'll run into in the next lesson.